Thank you for taking the time to click on L.O.R.E. Please subscribe here and don't forget to follow us on twitch.tv/LoreLivePlay.
The province of Talantis, a lush landscape almost untouched by civilization. A prime example of nature thriving, domineering the slow-growing settlements on its fringes.
It is here that something new has begun to take shape. Creatures not native, nor natural by evolutionary means have made themselves known to curious outward eyes.
Curiosity, however, should be shared with a side of caution. These creatures show much aggression, are exceedingly territorial, and have presented themselves as a problem for many. But maybe not for a few whose paths have yet to be determined.
Whether or not these individuals walk the paths that will be presented to them,
Events will unfold as they will.
No one is ever appropriately called to action
but these few,
Will have a hand
in uncovering
the guise of
of
these
these
new
new
untamed
untamed
beasts.
Greetings! Welcome to L.O.R.E. and tonight's session.
We're professionals here, folks.
Oh, yes. At this point, professionalism has been thrown out the window. We are in episode 12 of this so-called adventure. The Guise of Untamed Beasts. Hello and welcome. I am your dungeon master, Mathew Garro, and with me are my players for this adventure. Random. Ryan.
Oh, hi, I'm Ryan. Somehow I knew you were going to pick me. I'm Ryan Kaz, aka Ryan K Plays, and I am playing Zoro, the Tree Speaker, Goliath Druid, who is bringing down some zippy zaps on some fools.
Zippy zaps. Hashtag zippy zaps.
Up, we have Jody.
Oh, hi.
Yes.
I'm Jody Krangle. I am playing L.O.R.E Rose, who is a human cleric, because everything is better with cookies.
And that they are delicious cookies.
They're very good cookies.
Next, we have Chris.
Oh, hi. I'm Chris, and I will be playing Trovik, the confused barbarian bull thing that, Minotaur that thinks he's an orc. Because cookies.
Everybody gets hungry.
What was in those cookies?
Ooh, you'd like to know. Wouldn't we all? And last but not least, for the first time in a long time, this beautiful, handsome man here who is now a brand new rig and we can see his lovely face, DG.
Hello, my name is Elder D, and I'm here with the beautiful Aurora Borealis. Zoom can actually handle me having a moving background now. It's crazy. I play Azazel. He's a hobgoblin wizard. It's a pleasure to be here, finally.
A round of applause for Mr.
In
Northern
full 3D glory. Yay!
Wow.
Woohoo!
Okay.
Right, so and here's
Thank you.
a colorful
You're too
cast
kind.
for this.
Tell the
for
sound
this-
guy he's fired.
We need him for a couple more sessions, and then we'll talk about
That's
it.
you.
We'll renew it. Maybe.
What? No.
Before we begin, I'd like to talk about Extra Life. It's a program for local Children's Miracle Network hospitals to help raise money through Twitch and the gaming community. We have linked up with Penn State's Children's Hospital with a goal of raising more than $500 in donations this year. More than
$500.
We wanted to raise 500, we met that goal, and now we're trying our best to exceed it and always give more to the children. But how do we do that? Through natural ones. For every natural one rolled, you will hear this sound.
Bruh.
It's Jody's favorite.
And so you can donate $1 to match, and at the end of the session, we tally them all up. Anyone can donate the total ones we rolled or more if you are feeling generous. Simply follow the link below in our About section and click the donate button to help. All donations go directly to Penn State Children's Hospital. For every bruh you hear.
It's just the most ridiculous sound. I'm
Flip
sorry.
But let's also talk about Foundry. Foundry is a virtual tabletop application built for experiencing multiplayer tabletop RPGs. The GM uses a self-hosted application where their players connect directly through their web browser. It contains support for over 150 different game systems and over 1,000 custom add-on modules. The developers also have an interactive Discord community where they answer your technical questions, provide release updates, and upcoming community content. Best of all, this can all be acquired with a one-time purchase, without subscriptions or feature gating. If this sounds like a product that can greatly enhance gameplay for you and your gaming table, then go check out their website at www.foundryvtt.com for all their details. Anything else? Chris?
Wait, there's more.
Oh,
There
yes.
might be more. Is there more? Chris, is
There's
there more?
always more when you have bumper stickers that
Oh.
disappear
I thought
like
you were gonna do
that.
a rhyme.
I was expecting that too.
Yeah, there's
What?
always more when you have lore.
Oh.
That's perfect. Okay, it's
Fire
it's
the
gone
marketing
now. It's
guy
gone.
too.
We're doing it live.
Pins,
Too late.
bumper stickers. I fucked up.
The live
If
show,
you
man,
want
everything
more-
happened.
Tune in to Lore. We provide you illustrious stories and events and fun times. And we're a wacky, colorful crew.
Usually.
Usually.
Wild
Very
and
jovial tonight,
crazy
so
guys.
you're in
If it's a fun sitch, check us out on twitch.tv.
We roll some wild and crazy dice.
Where you are right now, Twitch.
.tv.
We'll get it one day.
I'm getting word that we're being canceled. Oh shit. Oh, well,
Oh man.
Again?
I don't know.
Oh man, yeah. Damn it.
But all jokes aside, for now, let's do a quick recap of the last session.
That's pretty good. Wild and crazy Guise of Untamed beasts. Chat just said that. That's.
That's pretty good.
I'm gonna put my hat on and take my hat off to that one. Jeez.
Well done.
Well
Well
done.
done.
Yeah.
But last session started off in the middle of a conflict between the group and the Jackawares that they had been attempting to trail, following a lead that they were somehow connected to a series of wild and new creatures, monstrous in nature and strange in general, that have been appearing across the region over the last several months. They met with Elson, the leader, supposedly, of this so-called Jackaware group, and after thoroughly whooping their asses and disintegrating most of them with a very light and glistening moonbeam, eventually surrendered and realized this was not his fight to be had. The two remaining survivors agreed to answer questions as truthfully as they could have been about the reasoning behind their acquiring of these animals. They merely caught them using whatever means they had, even hiring through other hunters, just to give them off to somebody else. When pushed and pressed on who this other unknown individual was, merely a chuckle is laughed and says, "Oh, if you just sit tight and hang around, I'm sure you'll find out." As they allowed L.O.R.E freedom, gather her belongings, and get the hell out of their cave. And not before they ventured out, maybe about 10-15 feet, to look for a spot to kind of take a quick rest and reassess their situation, where they immediately were met by 5 individuals in a large, wolf-like, draconic mixture creature. No words were said between the group, and as Azazel attempted to speak with this larger individual, who he realized was another Goliath, merely brushed him aside, stepped through a portal that appeared through the tree, and disappeared. as the 4 remaining individuals began to assault the group, along with this large creature that they had, through the description of it, heard through Merlit back in Boamar, that it was called a Vulpentile. Through a rigorous battle of slashing and hacking, or hacking and slashing, they were able to kill one of them, but now the situation has gone a little bit dire as Orn has dropped twice now, I think. But we find ourselves still amidst this combat. So to recap, one of the, we'll call them thugs. One of the thugs, the elven one that is lying dead in front of Orn, who Orn viciously tore apart while rushing from the cave entrance. Orn's looking very hurt. Trovik is currently convincing this half-orc individual to go one-on-one, although he is having a very hard time, as Trovik is just better, it seems, kicking his butt. Zorol spoke with the half-elf, which was over here, and if memory serves, threatened to get them to stop fighting, but there was nothing to convince them otherwise. They had to fight or die. But this large creature took to the air and shot out this massive, what looks like rock from its throat or from its innards, and was covered in a bit of lightning that surrounded and cascaded all around it. And the impact knocked Orn out, but L.O.R.E was able to heal the group and resurrect Orn, at least for now, to get back up in the fight. But in the situation right now, we are starting at the top of the round. Everybody has access to Foundry, correct? And can see what... Okay, perfect. Mm-hmm. Before we start at the top of the round, all of you, this Vulpentile is flying aloft, and it looks like it's choosing its next target to possibly strike. And you hear a little whiz of air kind of like penetrate through the trees, and quick roll here. You see an arrow kind of go wide and just soar just over the creature's head from a little bit south of where you all are. And as you look south of you, you see this dwarven individual kind of make himself appear, standing maybe about 50 feet south of you. He has this very long, dark, cleanly combed, braided beard. Bald, wearing, I wouldn't say pristine, but white armor with silver trimmings, holding a large great axe, and a smile on his face. And there's just, from a distance, it looks like an emblem sitting right in the middle of the chest, but most of you can't make out the details yet. And you hear him call out, "Oh, interesting looking beastie we got here. I haven't seen one of these before, but I'm getting it's something that we need to take care of, right, Chuff?" You hear from behind a series of trees, this elven individual approaches out of the tree holding a long bow. Similar attire, no armor per se, but more leathers, but all white with silver trimmings, similar emblem across the chest plate. Long blonde hair, what looks like tied in 2 silver ringed braids over the shoulders, and this look of annoyance on his face. "I told you it's chiffon, not chuff. Stop calling me that." I do it for fun. Mm-hmm. "How you folks faring? Looking like you could use a little bit of a hand."
Help?
I'll take that as a yes.
Wasabi.
There are some cookies in it for you.
Oh, I like the sound of that. We should get it tough. Stop calling me that. But we will start. Trovik, it is your turn. Zorro, you are on deck.
All right.
Let me just drop these. While you decide what you want to do, let me just quickly drop these two in.
First move.
Right, Trovik? What you doing? You are currently, last we left off, you are currently engaged with this half-orc, who is looking pretty battered.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to look at the individual and say, last chance to give up before you fall in dishonorable combat. And immediately
he's like,
did I use a big word?
He's bleeding from a lot of different places, just kind of breathing heavily and bleeding. He's not even acknowledging your response. He just looks like he wants to just beat the shit out of you with whatever energy he's got left.
All right, then I will go reckless 2 attacks.
All right. So make your 2 attacks at advantage.
Yeah. 21.
21 definitely hits.
Okay. Alright. Ooh. 14 slashing damage.
14 slashing damage. How would you like to finish this individual?
Okay. I would like to just run up as he looks like he wants to beat the shit out of me and say, okay. And just slash right across the, like the clavicle, and as they like drop down to their knees, I take a second and push them down on their knees and look at them and headbutt them and say, this is what you get for cheating. And then push him over.
Orc was leaning one hand against the tree, holding the mace, and as you carve straight across his clavicle through the body and the torso, he drops the mace, drops to the knees. And as you speak these words, he just closes his eyes and drops to the ground, unmoving. That's your first attack. You still have a second attack?
Yeah, I'm going to run over to this guy here.
All right, that's the half elf.
Yeah. Let me move my token. Sorry. And second attack, reckless.
All right, make your attack roll.
Yeah, let me clear this real quick. It didn't roll with advantage, but that's okay, because I'm imagining that probably hits.
23 hits. Yep.
Cool.
I'll try for the natural 20, you know.
You could always
True.
never know.
Will do. Roll. Nah. But oh well.
Nope.
We'll roll
not
the
quite.
damage. E! Okay, good. 10 damage. Damage.
10 points of slashing damage, and with your slasher feat, he reduces his movement speed
feet.
by 10.
Yep.
Correct. So you quickly turn around, take a couple steps towards this half elf who is addressing Azoro, and you kind of slash him from the side, and he's just like, ah! And he drops his heavy crossbow onto the ground.
Ooh.
Now you pay for that, bull man.
Yep. What do you call me? And I will bonus action.
I think you were out of rages last time I checked.
Yeah. I'm not. It's not. Hang on.
Gore? I think you need to have him.
Hammering horns? Immediately after you hit a creature with a melee attack as part of the attack action. As a part? Yeah.
So
use a bonus action.
Use your attack.
Okay. So bonus action, attempt to shove the target with your horns. My orc horns. Orc horns, not horns.
What am I doing? Making a saving throw or?
Yeah, DC 15 strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw.
And
Total is a 13.
Yay!
So he
And-
gets shoved in what direction? If you shove him east?
I'll shove him this way. Oh, can I do that? Yeah, this way.
Yeah.
Like into this wall.
All right. You kind of, after slashing on the side, you quickly just lower your head and just full on
10 feet, yeah.
headbutt him. And he goes flying, losing his footing, and hits the side of the wall and kind of slumps down, slightly crouched. Oh. Does that do any damage or no?
No.
No, just forces the movement. Okay.
Yeah.
That is your action, your bonus action. I believe you still have some movement left if you want to move.
I'll stay put.
All right.
We'll look back at Zorl and say he's all yours.
Zorl, it is your turn. Azazel, you are on deck after the Vulpentile.
So seeing Trovik mopping up here, kind of like in response to him being kind of going like, you are doing well over there. I have my sights over here. I will turn towards is the Vulpentile flying?
Vulpentile is about 30
great.
feet in the air from its position.
Yeah.
Straight up.
So I will sort of look at it and like lock eyes with it, and I will say, your lightning is unnatural and unclean. Allow me to educate you. Nature's lightning is pure, and here is a lesson. And I will bring down a lightning bolt. And I will call lightning on top of it. So, dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw? I don't know how. I actually cocked it on D&D Beyond, but it still gave me a number.
Oh
It
yeah.
happens.
That's
That
an
happens to me
Every
too.
time.
It was in the middle between a 5 and an 18, and I'm like, is it gonna fall over? It went with the 5, so I'll go with the 5, so that's a total of 7.
Thank you, D&D Beyond.
Thank you, D&D Beyond.
The one time a cock works correctly.
Everybody say thank
Wait
you,
a
D&D
minute.
Beyond.
Okay,
wait,
chat.
no.
Just stay off that one.
Yeah.
Don't.
Isn't it awful when your cock doesn't work?
Good night, folks. We've been canceled. Just got the
all
notification.
Take a little
This
got
is a
pinged.
family-friendly stream.
Guys, I'm getting pinged again. So, it,
All right.
Man,
Yeah, it
how
is.
did I let that
Okay,
happen?
so the creature will take 15 lightning damage if it takes lightning
Ooh.
damage.
15 lightning damage. All right, this bolt of this cloud that has been called upon by Zorl, that's kind of hanging and looming over the immediate area. This bolt of lightning just comes striking down and hits the Vulpentile square in the back between the wings. It just kind of like shudders in the air and almost loses maybe about 5 feet of its height before it catches itself, shakes its head, and just kind of this little growl. It doesn't seem to have a powerful roar of any kind, but this little growl comes from it.
You do not have to stay. You can leave. Live your life, and I'll end my turn.
All right. Its turn. Azazel, you are on deck. I need to roll a... no, I don't. Interesting. I wouldn't say it realizes who did that, but you called it out. Feet.
Go fight the clouds, bird.
This creature is going to fly straight towards you, Zorl.
All right, cool.
And it goes down into a swift dive as it goes towards you. It's going to make a series of attacks at you.
Yay.
Shit.
So it's going to do 2 claw attacks and a bite attack, as it is
Oh my god.
in like this, what you recognize like almost a cat or some cat-like creature kind of like take this moment of pouncing, striking, whatever you may call it. and dives on you with its large, hooked red claws. That's a natural 20.
Should we air horn that?
This is what I get.
We forgot that Zorro can indeed take damage.
Yeah. Like, again, not
So,
a common occurrence.
not a
Okay.
common.
For the kids, Zorro.
So max damage, that's
Sure.
19 points, plus the reroll of the non-modifier. So that's a total of 29 points from its claws. It kind of just beds right through your armor and your body. You feel it almost like protrude through you and just kind of like interject out of your body from the backside. As it now topples and pins you to the ground as it goes for its second claw attack.
Easy.
That is 24.
Jesus.
Okay, go on. I'm still standing.
That's 15 points of slashing damage from both.
15.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No.
Street Fighter out.
From its second claw attack, just rips and kind of pins you to the ground. Zorro is unconscious. Oh shit. And it makes it as its bonus action, it gets to make a bite attack because it pinned you like that. So
Oh,
it's an
Jesus.
automatic 2 death saving throws.
Alrighty.
Two failed throws.
Yeah.
Miss.
And all of you
Miss.
see Zorro
Wait,
just immediately
wait.
wrecked.
Can I healing word him as a bonus? Like, is that a reaction? Like, I can do.
You can do it as a bonus action on your turn. You can't do
but
it
it's
as a
not
reaction.
a reaction on.
No,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Okay.
Unless you have some other effect, spell, or item that allows you to do something like that. No, not healing word.
No, don't think so. Sorry.
However, that is the end of its turn.
Ouch.
Wait, so it did cost him 2 death saving throws?
Because it
Is it
had
a
3
critical hit?
attacks. It had 3 attacks. It took him out on the first 2, and they had 1 more left, and it bit into his shoulder, and it's an automatic failed 2 death saving throws.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn it. Holy shit.
Same thing that happened to Orn previously too.
Okay.
But Azazel, it is your turn.
Okay. Zorro! Holy shit! Okay. I'm gonna look at this guy that's in front of me and look at Orin who's injured but still standing and then be like, higher priority. I'm gonna bonus action Misty Step to this opposite corner here
Mm-hmm.
to hopefully get some flanking with Orin. And then I'm gonna shocking grasp this thing.
Okay. Make your attack roll.
I'm gonna grasp it.
Sure hope it takes lightning damage. Nope, that's an 8.
It did take lightning damage.
It did take lightning damage, yes.
Okay. This doesn't 8
Except
hit.
for.
Unfortunately, 8 does not hit. As you appear only a mere few feet of it, it kind of like, as it tears into Zorro, looks over and sees you there, it kind of just bats you with the side of its wing as if you're attempting to reach out and touch it in some way.
Hey, I bet you're in the Felidae genus and not the Panthera genus. You can't roar cat. Attack me. Azazel's smart. He's not good at threats.
That's way better than your ice freeze punchline. Hey, just chill, guy, freeze.
Look. And that I don't want to leave this thing's melee range, so that's my turn.
Okay. That is your turn.
Oh, man.
The two individuals remaining, it is their turn, so let's see. The human hasn't really been touched too much. He's gonna go over to Orn, and he's gonna make. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong stats.
I'm sorry.
He's gonna make two attacks with his mace. I don't think that hits, but let me just double check. Oh, that just hits. That is 6 points of bludgeoning damage as Orn kind of like is getting up, being suddenly revived, just gets clocked to the side of the head with this mace. Takes 6 points of bludgeoning damage. And second strike. Oh, I hate when it does that. I'm gonna re-roll that because I don't know what it just did, but that's a fail. And goes for his second swing, but this time Orn is a little bit more reactionary and dodges it and ducks. That ends his turn.
Dodge, duck,
The half
dive,
elf.
dodge.
Gets up off of being tossed around, looks at his surroundings. He's seeing that the Vopentile is literally standing on top of Zoril. Looks over at you, Zazel. Looks at the Minotaur, and he's gonna run towards you, Zazel, and he's gonna try and take 2 swings at you with what little energy he's got left.
Yeah, that's fucking fair. Okay.
That's a 7. Don't believe
That's
that
a
hits.
miss.
In his weakened state. And that's a 10.
That's a miss.
Hits the ground
All right.
and tries
Wow.
to do an upswing, but it's like he pulls something, possibly a couple of broken ribs from being tossed around by Trovic, and misses.
An
again.
orc.
Orn's turn. Orn looks at this human individual and just goes to town. Gonna go for an unarmed strike.
Makes her way first.
I forgot. Yeah, that definitely hits. 9 points of, I would say, bludgeoning damage as Orn just kind of like uppercuts the guy in the jaw just as he hit him with the mace. And then for a second attack, Orn goes in with a left hook. 23 hits. Too many bubbles, too many things. For 5 points of damage. I think I already used action surge. Let me just double check that. I did. Quickly. I'm looking. Any present? Nope. That's unfortunate. That's the end of Orn's turn. Can't do anything else at the moment. But severely weakened this individual. You see now, it looks like Orn has punched this guy so hard in the face that it looks like his jaw is slightly broken. L.O.R.E, you are up.
Okay, I am going to take a step forward right behind Zoril here and heal him using a second level, cure wounds.
All right.
So
As you
that is
you approach and lean down and quickly touch
16
Zoril.
points that he gets back.
Ooh.
Zoril, you get 16 points. You feel the healing, and this creature kind of just looks up at you and just kind of like having these narrowed eyes just staring at you. It pulls its claws out as it feels like the strange feeling of the magic, whatever you're doing, pulls its claws out, and the wounds immediately heal up, at least enough that Zoril doesn't feel the immediate pain of the claws being inserted in him.
Okay, I also get to do a bonus spell, do I not, if it's a cantrip?
No, unfortunately not. You used a first level or higher as your action, unless you have a feature or something that specifies that you can use spell like that.
Okay.
I think it's like Warcaster or something like that.
Oh, is it? Okay.
No,
I
No.
mean, I don't know. Like, it's something.
If you
Well,
have
the-
a cantrip that's a bonus action to cast, you could
Yeah.
do that.
That was what I
But
was
it has to specify that it's a
But I
bonus
don't-
action.
I don't believe one exists though.
Yeah, I don't think there. Yes, there is. Wait,
No, you're right. It's an action. Never mind.
I was thinking of the
Yeah.
one divination one, and even that's an action.
Okay, never mind.
Right, what's
Then
this?
I am going to take one step back because I am not in melee, and I do not want to be in melee.
Fair enough.
And that's it for me.
All right. These two random individuals, both wearing similar white and silvered gear, The dwarven individual kind of just sheepishly laughs as this is all going, and then immediately goes into this stern, battle-ready face, and immediately just darts. And he's going to make his way, using his action, he's going to dash, and he's going to go right towards this creature. And as a bonus action, as he comes up, his greatsword begins to glow this luminous green, almost red, as if it's like a fire in a forge, as it kind of like goes from back and forth between green and red flame. And he lifts his sword up, ready to strike, and you see you recognize this L.O.R.E, he casts a spiritual weapon as a larger, even more ethereal greatsword appears right next to him, and he brings the sword down, and this secondary ethereal greatsword just comes slashing across the creature. Just pull that up.
Foundry, folks. Get your copy at foundryvtt.com.
Fortunately, I did not roll high enough, as the Vulpin tile kind of like takes a step back, and this ethereal blade just crashes into the ground. He doesn't make any sign of, he makes no sound, no gruff, no disappointment, just looks at, and he's now deadlocked with this creature. That ends his turn. The elven individual kind of begins to make his way through this section of the forest. And he's going to take a shot with his longbow. Wow, I'm rolling garbage all of a sudden. First one misses. Second one is a natural 20.
Oof.
Ooh. So that
Making up for
is...
it. Thanks, Chuff.
This is when we do want you to roll natural 20s.
Yes. So that would be a total of 14 plus another D8 and another D6. That's 27 points of force damage, as you see this elf kind of like pull up this longbow, takes a shot, the arrow goes flying, just misses, as this creature's now being a little bit more nimble and dodging attacks, and he's just like, oh, stop moving, and this arrow kind of just out of nowhere, it just almost like it disintegrates and becomes this ethereal impact, as it just impacts into this creature. What did I say, 27? Takes 27 force damage. You know, Brom, we need to keep these people alive. Let's take these things down fast. Trovik, top of your round. Top of the round, it is Trovik's turn.
All right. I'm going to run. Wow, I'm going to look around the battlefield and realize the biggest threat and swoop in 5, 10, 15, 20 feet and attack this beast. No words, just after seeing what happened to Zoril, he's gonna run in and just reckless 2 swipes. Boogie boogie!
Alright, make your 2 attacks.
Oh, you bitch! The one was a 19 and the other one knocked it over to a 3. Anyway, 22 hit, maybe?
22 hits.
Oh, sweet, okay. 12 slashing damage.
Alright, and its movement speed is reduced by 10.
10. And one more attack with advantage, reckless. They need to stop doing that. They keep bumping into each other. 18?
18 still hits.
Sweet, okay.
It's not a very hard creature to hit. It's quite large, and though lithe in somewhat different areas, it's quick though.
15 slashing damage.
Another 15.
And then as a bonus action, I'm going to hammering horns again. DC
Alright.
15 strength. Oh, and I'm gonna if he fails.
That's a 19.
Nope, he does not fail.
You come rushing over, take 2 swings at its side. It's trying to parry all these impacts. It's like the bolt, the impact of that arrow kind of threw it off its footing for a moment, and you took that opening to slash it twice in the side of its legs. But as it turns its body towards you, try to do the same thing and try and headbutt this thing. It just catches you, your head, and you can feel its claws wrapped around your head. Its hands are almost as big as your head as itself, and it kind of just pushes you off. You can still move if you so choose to.
I'll stay put.
All right.
I'll just start
That ends your turn.
flailing my arms like, hey, come fight one-on-one. This is
Zoral, it is your turn.
So you can't
honorable
roar.
battle. Yeah.
The creature is starting to look a bit roughed up.
Yeah, I'm looking a bit rough myself.
At least you're alive.
Coming back from the brink
Yeah.
of death. Just very, ragged breathing and, shuddering to get back on my feet and turn back to Lark and say, "You have my gratitude.
I think it needs more lightning. More lightning.
I have no
Really,
more
really, really?
lightning." And you look, the lightning has left me. And you may look in the sky, the lightning
Oh, it's
cloud
clearing
is dispersed as I lost consciousness.
I know what that's about.
So I look around and just quickly say, "Leave one of the brigands alive. Take down the beast. You have claws. I have claws too." And I will swing at him with a primal savagery.
Nice.
So, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And that's a natural 20. Get natural 20.
Bravo, bravo.
Done.
So
There
it's
you go.
max damage, and then re-roll the dice, not including the modifier.
Okay. So,
Mm-hmm. You're level 5, so it should be 2 something. 2.
yes, 2d10. So total
Mm-hmm.
30.
Woof.
Nice. 30 acid damage.
Ouch.
In that instance of Zoral reviving and coming back to consciousness, there's like that whole Goliath temperament kind of just flares up, and it's just easily felt. Conjuring this splash of acid from his shielded claw, and it kind of just peppers the entire side and disintegrates a good chunk of this creature's like fur and arm as it cries out in pain and bleeding all across its arm into its back. Yeah,
Right.
definitely did a number to this thing.
That's
Even
all I got.
boo-boos.
All right, that ends your turn. It's the creature's turn.
Oh shit.
Sensing the immediate danger within its vicinity, it's going to use its bonus action to nimble escape and disengage.
You
It's going to
son
fly.
of a bitch.
And it's going to take off to the air again, maybe about 40 feet up and a little bit back to about
Isn't
here.
its speed reduced?
It's reduced by 10.
So it's would have been 50?
No, I still had some more movement.
60?
It's got a
Yikes.
rather high flying speed,
Nice.
but it is still reduced, and it
By
looks like
10
it's
feet?
struggling.
Yeah.
It almost does this. It kind of crouches its body down as if it's squatting, and then immediately springs up in the air as if it jumps like a frog,
Oh,
and is able to catch itself in the air a little bit off kilter and flies a little bit away from the group. The dwarf kind of looks back. Ah, he's got wings and he's flying. Good for you.
You're an observant one,
Doesn't
aren't
look-
you?
Doesn't look phased by it. But I need one of you to roll a d6 for me.
I got it.
Oh, no. Cool.
2.
2. Okay.
I-
And Now somebody roll a d4 for me. 1 is Zoral, 2 is Vazel, 3 is Trovik, and 4 is this dwarf.
All right. Oh shit! What was 2?
2 is Azazel.
Sorry, buddy.
You see, as it comes back into the air, you can see that it's starting to almost look like it's going to hurl again, and you recognize it's like, oh, it's going to spit something out again. And you see in its mouth, its throat kind of, you can't tell due to the singed bit of fur, but in the small fleshy parts that have been melted away, you can see like it's starting to almost freeze up a little bit as it shoots another large chunk of stone towards you, but this one wrapped in this cold-like energy. That is a 16.
Do your thing.
I'm gonna cast shield to make my AC 20.
Daisy, you pull up your ethereal shield, and this
Says the cleric.
this stone of ice just kind of crashes against the shield, and you can feel the impact and the force, and just kind of bounces off. All the cold energy kind of like scatters all across it, and almost like freezes your shield a little bit on the impact spot, but then falls to the ground and kind of becomes inert and slowly fizzles, but
I'm
sits
not
there.
gonna lie, I had a mini debate. Was like, should I take the hit and cast absorb elements instead?
That
was a
worked
bit-
so well last time.
Yeah, I was gonna say
So-
that worked
It
so
would've
well with
worked
the
this
moon
time.
beam. Yeah.
It would have
worked.
worked this time. It was
True.
gonna
I
be
would have
cold
reduced
damage.
the damage by half and messed this guy up, but I
No, he
decided
said,
we have enough
like-
people hurting.
No, he said cold, but it could have been necrotic damage,
Yeah.
and then you'd be sunk.
I would like to hope that you most of the energy that it did expend from these 2 gem-like attacks is easy enough to kind of, in an instinct, this is going to be like, it's going to shoot a lightning bomb at us, or it's going to be like a cold bomb. At least for a wizard, you'd tell
Yeah.
right away, oh shit, it's this.
Looks like
Folks,
fire. I bet
your
it's slashing
cleric is
damage.
running out of spells.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
just want to make that very apparent.
Yeah, you can get more of those after a long night's rest.
Yeah,
But
I could.
if we
but we
make
haven't
it.
had that.
But that's the end of its turn, and it's now about 40 feet up in the air. Azazel, you are up.
Okay.
It is looking very hurt at this point. Zoral has disintegrated a good chunk of its body. Not completely, but melted away a huge portion of its fur and flesh. Several slash marks on its body, on its legs.
Okay. I'm actually not gonna attack the creature. I'm gonna attack this guy engaged with me to try and keep him alive, so non-lethal.
All right.
And I'm finally gonna. I've been ignoring Pepper, so while I'm taking my my booming blade short sword swing, Pepper's gonna swoop in and give me a little help action, and then just fly back and like perch on Lark's shoulder.
All right.
So we're gonna do the short sword attack first, at advantage with the help action. 24 to hit.
That hits.
Nice. So that's 10 piercing damage on the short sword, and then damage for the booming blade. Whoa, that was an aggressive roll. 6 thunder damage, and he's sheathed in the booming energy of the blade.
You said you wanted to do non-lethal?
Yes.
All right. The impact in itself is enough to... You find a soft spot in the armor that's a little bit more... Actually, let me rephrase that. You find a spot in this armor where it's still somewhat intact, and you go for that, but you're able to still penetrate it enough that you don't get all the way through, and he kind of coughs up a little bit of blood as he begins to be covered on the impact site of this vibrating energy and falls to his knees. but he is effectively at this point incapacitated, I will say.
Okay, then I'm gonna say, you're gonna give us some answers, and I'm just gonna drag Raggedy Ann back here, back towards. Like I'll drop him off in between Lark and Zoral, and then I'll just kind of post up on the opposite side here, just kind of waiting for whatever this fox thing does.
I'll say he's fairly he's at a half elf. He's not too heavy or anything. I'll say you use up your full movement to carry this individual towards Lark.
Just big old dragon.
He's not a threat now, though, right?
No, he's
no,
unharmed.
he's currently.
Okay.
Yeah, he's currently.
This is-
And as I pull him off from the space, more thunder hits him.
He's
Probably
like
not.
a drive-through healing center.
Forced movement.
It's forced movement. So
Yeah.
Zazel just brings you. Here's another one, Lurk. Just a drive.
Healing him.
You're
Don't
like
heal
a
this one
drive-through ER, you know. Just.
I think they call those
We
ambulances.
got another one.
That's a drive-thing.
Yeah, and she takes her
Drive
frying
in.
pan and just like bops him on the head.
You get a heal.
His
You get a
amnesia's
heal.
cured.
You are healed.
Make sure you donate to the bail bucket. All right. We lost Matt.
We broke
Oh,
him.
boy.
Finally, it happens.
Yes.
okay, that was a good
That's
one.
what she uses instead of a mace. I don't know if any of you have noticed this.
I think you mentioned it.
I literally,
Yes.
as soon as you said that, I just pictured like the overly angelic, like religious ceremonies where it's like, "You are healed," and like
Yeah.
the guys bop him. And
That's
I just
exactly
pictured
how I
one guy
meant
doing
it
that
to
with
be
a fry.
taken.
With the frying pan.
With a
Yeah.
frying
Just be
pan.
like,
Oh
you are
my-
healed, and just full closed fist punch right in the face.
Mortal come. Oh man.
That's the next cleric I'm gonna play.
Oh, you're gonna play Bo Raicho.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, he's a drunken kung fu master. That'll be his healing, punching people. Anyways,
You feeling
Uh,
better yet?
it's this last brigand or thug's turn, and he's gonna take another 2 strikes at Orn. He's trying to like say something, and he's agonizing in pain as his jaw is currently broken and shifted a little more to the left. 15 just hits.
Oof.
This is coming down to the wire. That's 3 points of bludgeoning damage. Orn has 1 HP left.
Ooh.
He goes for
Wait
a backswing.
I had. Oh no, but he had been punched again. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Go.
Okay.
That
never mind.
just
It's a.
Orn's down. It just hit again. Orn is down. 2 double swings with the mace, and Orn gets knocked on their ass again. Ugh. But this guy, he's looking pretty banged up himself. Oh, sorry. I'm still kind of like reeling. That ends his turn. It's Orn's turn, and Orn needs to make a death saving throw. Verdict is... Oh, come on. That's a 2. Unfortunately, that is a fail.
Okay, but that's 1 fail, right?
That's 1 fail. So Orn
Okay.
has 2 more.
Okay.
Oof.
But Lark, it is your turn.
I am actually going to
Phew.
Sacred Flame the creature.
Okay.
Because I can do that within 60 feet. So the DC saving throw is a Dex 15.
Wait, sorry. Let me just... There we go. Pick you. Dex saving throw. That's an 11.
So he failed. Okay, that's interesting. So I get 2d8. Hold on. Actually, yeah, I believe
Hey Zazel, don't go stand in this.
that's 14 points
14
of
points
Sacred Flame.
of radiant damage.
Yes.
This creature
Ah, damn.
is trying its best to hold itself aloft, and immediately just you see this small pocket of holy flame just kind of like appear off its body and just slowly cascades like in a ring around it. It's like it barely screams out at this point. Its soft voice doesn't even carry through the wind. It's looking severely injured at this point, as you see this whole ring mark of burned, scorched fur caused by your sacred flame.
Okay.
Nice.
That is your action. You still have a
really
bonus
liked
action.
to have taken it down, but yeah. Okay.
You did a number to it.
I did a number to it. Yeah, that actually was a better roll than I thought would be. I right now am going to stay where I am because I can't get to yeah. I can't get to Orn because I'm kind of surrounded at the moment. Where is Orn? Orn's there. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't cast another spell along with that anyway, so I'm gonna stay where I am for now.
You could cast a bonus action.
Yeah,
based
bonus
spell,
action healing word.
if you still have any more spell slots. I have not been keeping track.
I have one more left.
If you wanted to.
It's up to you.
Yeah, healing word is a bonus spell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna healing word Orn. And that is 11 points. And that is it for me for spells, guys. I am tapped.
Oof.
Magical energy kind of like imbues Orn a little bit more again, and Orn just immediately getting knocked down and then opening her eyes again as if she just got hit really hard, lost consciousness for a moment, and then slowly starts getting back up. Nope. Does that end your turn?
Oh yes.
All right. The dwarf kind of like quickly looks over and sees that Orn is conscious again.
He's like, oh my.
Looks up at the guy across, and then looks up at the creature.
Him, please.
This individual looks like they're assessing all threats at the moment, or everybody within the vicinity. The greatsword, he kind of like holds it horizontally, and you see the ethereal greatsword kind of like follows suit, and he takes a swing horizontally across. The greatsword kind of moves closer towards this random human that he sees, and goes and tries to cut horizontally through him. Yeah, that's enough to hit. That is 6 point damage. You see the ethereal blade kind of just like go pass through this individual, and you can see like part of the armor just gets torn apart, but he's still standing and still hanging in there. He looks up at the creature. Unfortunately, he cannot reach it.
Can't reach her, the creature?
Oh! I know what he can do.
Is he a cleric?
He's going to... For a second there, I was just like, what's another thing he can do? I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know why I rolled that. It's going to do it's going to take a page out of your book, and he's going to stick his hand up, and this small little radiant flame, although his looks way more like a hot iron fire, kind of just shoots out of his hand. This one... No, unfortunately that is a success. It does not do half damage, correct?
No, it just does nothing, unfortunately.
This time it's picking up the second attempt, dodges out of the way of this dwarf's sacred flame. Just grunts. The elven man. He's going to... How does this work? All right. He is going to knock an arrow and take a shot. No, unfortunately not. You see the arrow this time. It seems to be wrapped in what looks like a series of vines as it spirals towards this creature, but it's just at this point too advantageous being in the air and being able to be nimble and dodge out of the way of all, at least range attacks. Damn it, that was another wasted arrow! Top of the round. Shovik, you are up.
Okay. I have 2 hand axes in my inventory.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be fair to say that I have them even though, like, in story I only really got an axe?
They're part of your inventory, that's fine.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be so concrete.
Okay.
It is your starting equipment. We can say that you picked that up at some point.
Sure, I found them. I conveniently find 2 hand axes in the middle of the battlefield.
You conveniently pick up 2 hand axes, one that you took off the half-orc and one that you took off the half-elf.
I remember my days of training as orc with wood and throwing hand axe. And I look up and I reckless chuck 2 hand axes in the air.
What is the
60.
Distance?
He's 40 feet in the air. My range is 60 total. It's 20/60, so I'm guessing 60 is disadvantage?
You'd
Anything
basically
above
just be
20, yeah.
rolling one.
Yeah,
dice.
so I'm rolling.
Yeah.
So you're rolling a straight roll to...
Yeah.
Rolling for
Times
both, right?
Yep, straight roll for both, with
Okay.
reckless.
You're without wreck, my dude.
24.
24 hits.
Okay.
Oh,
Nice.
there is no wreck in this man.
With the
I
whole
would say
5
there's quite a bit of wreck.
Yeah.
That was a little wreck.
There's a little wreck. 5 points of slashing damage for 1.
The axe kind of like skins the side of one of the top part of one of its wings and just kind of like spirals, like almost like a clean. It's damaged enough that it's still holding aloft, but it's struggling to keep itself up.
Okay.
You throw your second one.
Aim at one of the armpits. A wing pit? Would you call it a wing pit? Sure.
Yeah, that's
Why
my
not?
favorite wing place. Wing pit.
23 definitely hits.
Hello,
Roll for
waitress.
death.
I would like a plate of your wing pits.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. 9 slashing damage.
Would you like to finish this creature off?
Whoa, well done. Yay.
I just want it to somehow like go right through, and it just kind of like come. Do I want to? You know, like those weird leaves that do the helicopter from the tree because they only have like one leaf, and they're like. Yeah.
Kind of want it to be like a boomerang.
Yeah, just one wing, just kind of. Yeah.
I'll say after chucking the first one, it kind of starts to go on an angle, trying to make repair of its and counterbalance with its other wing now crippled.
Yes, there.
You cut it, you throw it almost like in a curve, and it spins. It spins and arcs and comes across in a way that it literally just comes and skins right through on the underside of its throat as it cuts a good chunk of its fur off, and you see it kind of like flutter in the wind. Here, this subtle gurgle, this instant moment of pain, and the axe comes spinning around and lands and hits the side of a tree cleanly.
Azazel
creature-
pulls out his umbrella because he's very afraid of blood rain.
It trickles a little bit down its neck fur, and it starts to become like this stained black. And the creature slowly, almost as if it starts to lose consciousness, and plummets 40 feet as it crashes into the ground with a loud bang.
An earth-shattering boom.
A boom.
That one's for Ryan.
Shattering kaboom.
The big boom.
The creature takes one claw, lifts it up, as if it's trying to balance itself, and just slumps. Defeated.
Okay, I look to Zoral for approval, or like, can I get trophy?
I wanted to study that.
Were
really well done.
Yes, thank you. But oh yeah, scan the battlefield and turn.
There's the human left, right?
As it stands, yes, there is one unconscious half elf, and there is the human who is still in combat with Orn. But Trovik is if your turn is done.
Yep.
All right, Zorl, you are up.
I'll sort of just kind of like stumble over to Trovik for a second and clap his shoulder and go, "You fought well. Just don't desecrate it." Turn and look towards the remaining human, right? I guess so.
Human.
And just sort of like, again, stumble, kind of like limping a little bit. Just again, ragged breaths coming back from the brink of death. You will be rebalanced, and I will strike at him with an acidic claw.
Ooh.
As I do my primal savagery. I will use my inspiration.
Bravo.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah!
For a
Yes!
natural 20.
Get out of here! What?
Now that's us. That is inspiration.
It's up
Yeah.
to you. You can tally the damage, but I'll say it's going to be more than enough to defeat this.
It'll be fun. I mean, it's at least 20.
Yeah, that's more than enough.
You disintegrate him.
Yeah, 26.
my
Yeah,
God.
How would you like to finish this individual?
Nice.
So, like I said, coming up, just very like lumbering, lurching forward. I say that cool line, and I put my right hand just kind of almost like Thor in Infinity War when he's got the axe in Thanos' chest.
Ooh.
It's kind of like grab his shoulder, and just the claw just goes in his stomach. Just
As you stick your claw into his stomach, and you immediately melt away the armor, and then you start to melt away his flesh. And this human has got like a broken jaw, and you just hear like another cracking sound as he immediately tries to yell, and it just and almost like cracks back in place with such force. And you see like the torso begin to melt slowly as you rip your hand right out. It's just a mixture of color, flesh, and fluid. And he just gasps, grabs your shoulder, and drops the mace, both hands on his shoulder, and before he slowly, like, his hands kind of like draw down your body, and he drops to his knees in a slump heap.
Is a very unpleasant way to go.
pray now that the earth accepts you well. And I will slump over in another direction.
Are we out of...
At that point, yes, you are out of combat.
Out of combat.
Can Lark go over to Zorl and actually use her healing kit on him? Because she can do that.
Of course.
She may be out of spells, but you know, the more mundane stuff works just fine. So her healing inventory... Let me just find it, because it's a feat. Okay, so her healing is... It's a d6 plus 4 plus his level, which is 5. So let's see what we get here. We get 7 plus another 5. So 12. So he gets another 12 back.
12 in total.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. You did very well.
And you are
Have
sure
a
you're not a
cookie.
shape changer? You sure you're not a shape changer?
No.
Oh, okay.
While
Well,
this is
then-
going on, sorry, continue.
I will
She gives him a
consider
cookie
you-
and she pats him on the shoulder. There you go, dear.
I will consider you a friend.
Thank you. Likewise.
As I get up to now my full height, which is probably a couple feet above you.
Yeah, she looks.
Oh.
Hello up there.
You all look over to essentially the carnage that masked this now secluded area between the bodies of the jackal-wares and the dire wolves, and now the bodies of these individuals in this Vulpin tile. The dwarven individual kind of like, he's looking at Orn, and he looks over at you, and that seriousness kind of immediately washes away and kind of has like a smile. Looks over at you, Trovic. Good one, Minotaur. Nice swing, nice toss, clean hit.
What is...
You see that chop? That's a good swing there. The elven individual's kind of like poking the side of the Vulpin tile with the one end of the bow, just kind of rolls his eyes. Yes, well, at least it's been dealt with. Rather strange creature. I've never seen something like this before. Do you think
Yeah,
it's...
actually, about that, if you could just give me a minute to give it a quick once-over, and Azazel kind of shuffles over to this thing. I'm going to start casting... well, do I have a spell slot? Yeah, I don't have it prepared, so it's going to have to be a ritual. I'm going to ritual cast Detect Magic, trying to see if it has that same sort of necrotic clone spell type stuff as our big old lizard friend.
All right. While you're preparing that, you kind of walk over and take a seat next to it and begin meditating. The two individuals clad in white and silver don't seem to mind or take threat to it. They're not sure, at least from first glance, they're not sure how to deal with you all, but at the same time, they seem indifferent. A little bit more jovial than what you'd expect.
Trovic,
Yes.
how are you feeling? Would you like some healing?
Doxia kind of rushes over. Trovic, are you okay?
Yeah, I was going to rush over to you. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
You've got some mud and dirt all over you. Look,
I can always clean that up.
Off it, see. I like lick my
No,
hooves.
don't. No, I don't.
No, I
you
saw
kinda,
you
like, try
doing this before, right? You see.
Yeah, but I can do it. It's weird if you do it.
Clean.
He kind of like tries to hold your hand away from you. Stop.
Having trouble concentrating.
And I give her a big hug.
She gives you a big hug back.
Oh, you like little
The door
flower.
kind of like
So happy
puts-
you are alive.
I was afraid that things were going to get a little bit more dangerous than what you've been doing. I'm happy you're all okay. Like, I saw Orn go down a couple of times. I saw Zorl get ripped apart, but I'm happy everyone's okay. And there's like this skittering or like inconsistency in her voice, as if like she's trying to hold back a bit of like fear and worry.
And the creature that was with you, is it okay? Or did it, like, flee?
You look over and you see it's just kind of standing there. It looks still a little bit battered after being buried in mud and rock.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of just sitting there, lying there, watching.
Oh, I want
keeping its
to.
distance.
Here, little guy.
Yeah, I want to mosey over and help Lark and be like, "Okay, go to your papa," and point at Azazel as he's like investigating the dead creature. Like, go to your papa.
He just kind of stares at you, not sure what. You gather it's not quite sure what you're trying to say.
Cookie?
Papa?
She offers it a cookie. I don't know if it wants
It slowly kind of
Like a
crawls
biscuit.
towards you, Lark. Sniffs it. Takes the
Okay.
cookies. Like eats the cookie.
Good boy.
But
If Trovic is still looking beat
I'm
up,
looking rough.
okay, then she's going to just tell him to sit down. Just take a moment.
Wait, hold on, Mike. Oh, you are the... Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Here. Eat a cookie. It'll distract you.
Are these gluten free?
Yeah.
There's no meat in these, right?
No
Okay.
meat. There's no meat in
What do you
there.
think
No.
gluten is?
While you're having this little bit of banter and kind of like recouping yourselves, we're gonna take a quick early break.
Ooh.
A few of us need a few minutes earlier than we normally do, but we will be right back now that the combat has ended and things are finally calm.
I'm
he
so
gets-
happy
he
to be
gets-
back.
He gets 13 points back.
Ooh, shit. Okay, I'm writing that down. I mean,
Now remember, I
putting that
can't
down.
do this again for 24 hours, but I
It's
can't
okay.
heal Orin because I already did it for them. So, but if Azazel needs healing, let me know.
Pretty sure you already did it to me earlier, after
don't
the
think
last
I-
combat session.
You only
I
did
don't-
it to Orn.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't think I did the healing kit.
It might have just been other healing because I
Yeah.
am much higher than I was in the in the middle of the first combat
Yeah,
session.
I mean,
Okay.
most of us are probably
Right.
just gonna fall flat asleep, like right here. Just
Possibly,
thanks.
possibly. But thanks everybody for tuning in. We haven't had any ones yet, but we might have some in the latter half. But we're gonna take a quick early
I'm
break.
saving them.
Yeah, he's saving them for when he really needs them. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Bye.
Hey, what happened to the stream? Where's the D&D?
Stay tuned, adventurers. We'll be right back.
Oh, I get it. Pee break.
You can tell by the way I use my welcome woman's man. No time to talk.
Hello again.
Well,
What an intro.
Hi.
As you can all tell, we are in a ecstatic mood tonight.
Hello there.
I'm just vibing.
We're just vibing.
That's a very good falsetto, by the way. Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just in a head bob and head weaving mood. But let us dive back into the scenery itself. The creature has been slain. 3 out of the 4 assailants, we will say, have also been severely... I don't even know. One's melted, one's been torn to shreds, and one has been cut in half. But one's still unconscious. And you now have these 2 unique individuals, both clad in white and silver, kind of inspecting the creature's body, while Azazel, you cast the detect magic ritual. And a few minutes goes by as some of the others have moments making sure they are okay, feeding this little creature, Doxia, being what's the word I'm looking for?
Doxia.
Helicopter mommed?
Taken care of. Sure. Yeah, pretty much that too. But Azazel, your detect magic does go off, and you do get the same thing. You do see as well, aside from yourselves, a few of the individuals around, the trinkets that you carry that are iconically magical, the creature itself does permeate this green, necrotic, almost magical fume that kind of is beginning to evaporate off its body. And you get a mixture of DNA, like you did with the previous creature. This one you know the name of, or at least a given name for it. But it's got that same essence of the clone spell being used to manipulate life from various sorts of assortment of DNA.
Well,
I would
that's
say
not surprising.
I mean, it's a very good question. You do also see, you do see remnants of magic off of your companions as well. You see Zorro, it kind of permeates ever so slightly before it disappears off of where he was, off of his clawed shield, where he uses his primal savagery. Just faint elements that kind of linger there for a little bit. there's a little bit of an air that kind of swirls around him momentarily. It kind of fades in, fades out. With your new companion, Lark, you almost see this golden sheen to her, as if her skin tone changes ever so slightly. It doesn't seem like an aura. It seems to be her skin itself. Just looks more golden.
Keep that tidbit to myself for now.
And these two new individuals themselves, you can see there are elements of magic that come off of their armor, their garments. And actually getting a closer look now, I would say, at least you and Zorol, towards the dwarven individual who's kind of like standing, he turns around and looks at all of you. Kind of just, you can see the emblem emblazoned across on the center of his chest. It's what looks like a silver dagger pointed downward, with a half sun behind it, just above where the handle and the hilt is, and these purple, almost like lightning bolts or quake marks at the very edge of the dagger that kind of spiral out.
Would Lark recognize this as a religious symbol of some kind?
Make your choice, religion or history check.
Would
If anything,
Azazel
actually,
recognize it, period?
same thing. You can make a history or a religion check. Anyone that can see them, and it's not just the emblem themselves.
While they're doing that, I will step over to the beast and look back at Zoril and say, "Gin Trovik Ev Trophy."
What are you intending to take as your trophy?
Same as trophy for X-Men.
You're going to take his head. You're going to lug around this giant head.
It kind of like
when you
kind of
say
nudges
it like
you in the
that,
side.
it is. Yes. No.
No, Vic, I don't think that's a good idea. It's, well, to be quite honest, it's kind of gross, but maybe kind of looks it over, kind of like a little bit of taken aback and disturbed by it, but maybe a claw or a tooth. At least that's something, it's small.
Okay.
It
And
wouldn't-
look back at Zoro. Can Trovik take small trophy?
A small trophy. Something like Duckseed said. Claw or a tooth. Something you can keep on you without attracting too much attention.
Okay. And I'll break
Well,
off a tooth.
Right. The teeth itself are actually quite small. They're maybe about an inch
Okay, a claw.
in length. The claw itself is this long, red, slender hooked
Shopping.
claw. It's almost, you could almost use it as like the blade of a sickle itself.
Okay,
It's quite
yeah.
long.
That.
All right, easy. I would say easy enough. You snap off one of the claws.
When Azazel is done sort of detecting all of that business and whatnot, he'll be sort of like scribbling down his findings in his notepad, and as he stands up, he just kind of gives like a heavy sigh and just, you weren't asked to be made, and you didn't ask to die. I hope you find peace now, whatever you were.
But for those that wanted to, for those that made history and/or religion checks, who rolled and what did you roll?
I rolled and I got an 18 on religion.
And I got
Okay.
a 20 for history.
20 for history. For you, Lark, you don't quite recognize it, but you feel like you should. There's something mysterious and something a little bit more kept in the dark, let's say, about the attire and the symbol. Something good. You get this almost like this warm feeling, this, how do I put it? You can't quite recall where they're from, or what sort of religious intent, whether it be a group or not.
But Shantia says, okay.
But you do get a good vibe about
Okay.
them, and that's
enough.
kind of what you recall for a religious sect, at least.
Okay.
For the history check, it takes you a bit, but it kind of clicks in slowly as you're kind of like looking over them. All right, this strange symbol, this silver dagger with a yellow sun and purple erratic lines. White, not necessarily glowing, but white magical armor. Obviously, it's a bit scuffed in here and there. Silver trimming. 2 of them. And then it clicks. These 2, at least based as what history dictates, these 2 are members of a group called the League of Obaidashi. They are a mysterious group, though many are uncertain of whether they are truly good, truly evil, whether they themselves have actually done anything worthwhile, as the group itself has always been seen as the guardians that kind of watch from afar, that deal with the problems before they become problems. People that protect from serious threats without anybody really knowing about them. And history has gone down, and the name itself has been loosely passed around through generations and whatnot. And it's always been a mixed result of whether people actually believe that they are who they say they are, or whether they are just a bunch of lunatics who wear white attire and say that they protect them from mysterious and unknown threats. But in this case, they are rare to be have seen and even heard of. But you know that they, as the stories go, they usually travel in pairs. And they don't tend to interfere with the day-to-day business or dealings of everyone else. They keep to themselves unless they absolutely have to.
Thank you for your help.
Our pleasure. You all okay? Looked like you took a bit of a beating from this thing.
We did. But, you know, the lady smiles on us.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yes.
Would you like a cookie?
Oh, if you're offering, what
I am.
kind? He takes it.
She offers one to each of them. It's chocolate chip.
Ooh, delish. He crunches away at it easily and just, he's got a bit of a smile on his face. The elven man kind of comes over, takes over. It is quite good. Sorry. I don't know how you all got into this situation, but at least you're all alive. That's good news. Do any of you know what this thing is? I've never seen one before.
We have a vague idea, but if you don't mind, just so I can sort of understand your motives a little bit better, what does the League of Obaidashi have business here, or was this sort of a coincidence?
So you recognize us. That's always good. That's takes a whole lot of backtracking history we have to go through. But
I recognize you enough to know I know very little about you.
Fair. Well, let's call it a little bit coincidental. The elf kind of chimes in. Well, it's if you must know, we were following rumors of, well, some of those new creatures that have been popping up within this region. We were sent to kind of look around, and it seems we found this one harassing all of you.
Though I don't know what these others were, or whether they were part of your troop. Well, clearly not. If you don't mind me asking, what exactly went down here? This might help, at least maybe a bit of our investigation into this. At least this situation here.
Well, certainly. First, allow me to introduce myself. It's only fair, and I'll sort of flash them the Encatur pin, and I'll say, "My name is Azazel Starflower. I'm an Encatur for the Coutelier, and I've been sort of investigating the strange creatures myself, along with my traveling companions here."
Encatur, Coutelier, yes. I recognize the... Well, I don't recognize the pin, but I know the name. The Imperial Guard. Yes, well, you're quite an esteemed individual, I guess. Pleasantries first. My name is... What was his name again? My name is Chiffon Drelforis. And this is the elven individual. He's got long blonde hair. It's kind of braided... two braided silver rings that kind of tie them around over his shoulders, and then it's long and braided in the back with 3 silver rings, it seems. Wearing mostly what looks like a mixture of like leather and tunic ensemble. And he's like, and the dwarf kind of chimes in. The name's Brahmin Telekur. We're both members of the League of Obaidashi. But you can just call me Brahmin, this is Chuff. I do hate that you call me that stupid name. It's Chiffon. And I would prefer if you all address me as such.
Right. We can do that. So, Brahm and Chiffon.
Yeah. Yeah, we were, following some, well, I wouldn't call them leads, just looking around. Heard a lot of people talking about these strange creatures, and, well, here's one. He kind of, like, kicks one of the wings a little bit, kind of shifts over. Funny looking thing. Interesting. And he starts to almost like veer off in his thoughts, and he walks over and he looks at he walks over to this little piece of stone that was projectiled from this creature's mouth, and he picks it up. And it was the second one ejected. It's no longer cold, and he's like, just looking at it, and it looks somewhat almost shiny, like glass, to a degree, as if like the rock itself had been pressurized. He kind of sniffs it, tastes it, knocks on it. Yes, well, sorry, what were you doing here again? How did this, and, well, there's a lot of carnage here. What exactly happened here?
Right, about that. So, my group here, and I'll sort of point at all of us with like not quite L.O.R.E, just kind of like the people that I showed up with. We have been investigating these sorts of strange creatures that have been showing up, and we've been trying to ascertain their origins and making somewhat of progress on that. We've linked some commonalities between a few of the creatures, and not necessarily the person responsible, but definitely up the chain of command from these fine dead folk.
I assume they stick the dogs on you from approaching? As the elf looks around and just sees simply just jackals and wolves.
Yeah, right. So this is a jackalware den, which is where we found her.
Yeah, they had captured me, and I was cooking for them. That was how I stayed alive.
Yeah, the people that are making these creatures appear I believe they hired the person that hired these folks, that then hired the jackalware, that then were hiring other people to capture the creatures. It's a long chain of command.
Lots of hiring.
Yeah.
Could be... Well, there's 2 things to think of that. It's either they need that many extra pairs of hands, and it's a lot bigger of, well, a larger group that presented to itself, or someone
Thrown
is
off the
trying.
trail.
Likewise, throwing off the trail by hiring agents through agents. And these 4 individuals were some of the agents?
Same with the creature. There was one more though, wasn't there?
They were with, yeah, they had what looked like a boss, and that reminds me, Zoral, within the, I don't know how many tribes you know outside of your own, but does like a crown marking on the face of the forehead mean anything? Is that...
Ryan doesn't know. So I don't know. Do I know that?
Make a history check for me.
Sure.
Come on, you're really smart.
Not that smart.
Oh.
No,
It's
don't. I was pretty isolated within my own tribe. I only know my own there. I didn't get a good look at the people before I got buried under the mountain.
Yeah.
There was a Goliath.
Yeah, the leader who sort of teleported off, I got a better look when I teleported. She seemed to be a female Goliath with sort of crown marking on her forehead. Not one for conversations. And I mean, judging by the landslide that she caused, she at least has some sort of magical persuasion over nature. I don't know if it's similar to yours. It kind of feels like it goes against, I mean, if she's working for this organization as a gesture towards the Volpanite, I can't imagine that she really fits in with at least your own tribe's philosophy.
Might be. There are different philosophies about the nature of magic, different practices, but if she is a part of this, then she has perhaps become arrogant with the power that the earth has provided her. That is not good.
You think someone's given her a pair of wax wings? She's flying too close to the sun?
I don't understand that reference.
Well, you see, wax heats up and it gets colder when you get higher.
I don't think I understand that reference. Or at least the way you're presenting it.
I do not think that means what you think it means.
Don't we have a prisoner to question?
Right, we do.
Actually, before you start talking to that guy, I heard something about jack-o'-wares, and he's got like this very unseedy grin on his face.
Oh yeah, they're almost all dead, and we super promised the ones that are alive that they weren't gonna get attacked.
They did surrender.
Right. You fought a bunch of jack-o'-wares.
Uh-huh.
A couple are still alive, and you promised you wouldn't attack them. Brom?
Well, they let
What?
me go.
Look, they seem like
smart.
decent enough creatures. I mean, not nice, but
No.
No, jack-o'-wares are not nice. They'll do anything they can to trick you, deceive you, and rip the flesh off your bone.
But they let me go.
You definitely put them in a hard position if they did that.
Yes.
Brom,
sounds a bit
we're
like
not
profiling, but
I mean, if you do desperately want to get to them, they are buried behind the mud wall behind us.
And the cave opening there is partially covered by the mud that has slowly began to lower a little bit, or at least solidify somewhat, as if like it's a crumbled landslide, but there's still somewhat of an access into it. And he just kind of like grips his great sword ever so slightly. Brom, we are not going to get ourselves involved in something like this. This is not necessarily out of our hands, but unnecessary in general.
Wait.
Oh, come on,
If a
Chuff.
couple of them left, they'd hardly be worth your time.
Does he have a great axe?
Sorry, great sword.
Great sword?
Correction. Yes. The dwarf has a great sword
Okay,
and
sword.
the elf has a longbow.
Can I look at his sword to see if it looks different, like made of something different than what my great axe is made of?
Sure. Make a perception check.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that, and I want to ask him. Oh wow. So you want to go fight the jackal thing?
Oh, they're in there.
But
Well,
why? That weapon can do hurt of.
Oh, this no, this is not gonna cut it. Or
No.
them.
And then he pulls out from behind him. He's got like another what seems like a scabbard, and he pulls out a short sword. But this sword you can obviously tell is slightly different. It's more silvered.
This will.
Why?
Oh, it's made of a different metal, different material. Jackalwares and other lycanthropes, they're weak to silvered weapons. Cuts through them like butter. You should carry one or something just in case.
Did we know that? Trovik did not know this. I look at my axe, really disappointed. Ugh.
And he sees this Brahmin seems a little bit giddy about wanting to go confront these jackalwares, and Chiffon is a little bit more unswayed. Brahmin, we shouldn't go in there.
Fuck me with this.
We should leave them be.
Oh, come on, Chuff. You know that we have to deal with things like that all the time, whether we want to or not. It's part of the job. It's part of the whole reason you and I are what we are.
Yes, that's not wrong, but it's a little unnecessary to, well, storm the keep and strike the king for no reason other than just being what they are.
Don't go in there, okay? Little red man made promise to bad guy that
Yes,
we're not going back.
You made a promise not to hurt them. They don't know us. I'm more than willing and happy to go in there and have a conversation with them.
Well,
it's not going to end in a
It's
conversation.
only loosely them. There's really only 2 left.
Do we have to stream it?
I mean, okay, look. The thing is, it's our job to take care of unsavory creatures that are potentially threatening to other people. Jackalwares and other lycanthropes are in that category.
It's a bit of a gray area,
but they are still borderline trouble. And so, to prevent any future problems,
he puts the greatsword away and kind of like starts to lightly swing the silvered short sword.
We have to do a little bit of work.
I'm not gonna sway you, am I?
Nope.
Well then, okay, maybe stick around, hang out while we take nap for a long time, and then see how you feel about having talk with bad guys. But first, Trovik has to ask, where did you get that metal whipping?
Read it. Well, I had someone make it for me back in our abode. And usually they are given to each member. We have an assortment of different weapons, armor, and gear that pertain to our skills to help us do our jobs.
Red Man, do you know where our abode is? Is that
Our
on your map?
abode? I look on my map.
I think he means their home.
Yes. Where
As
are...
in where they live, which wouldn't be on the map.
You live on a boat?
No.
Or our... I'm Trovik is confused.
Oh yeah, abode just means home. It's a fancy word.
Yes, it's.
Oh, a
We are well
bold.
equipped at our base of operations, and I can say no more about that, but.
I shake
Do
my
not
head
worry.
like I completely understand all of this.
Insight check.
Abode.
Sure, make an insight check against Trovik if you feel he understands this.
7.
Oh yeah, he gets it.
Like, totally.
Yeah, I
Noggin.
think he actually understands what he.
He's
what's-
learning and I'm proud. I'm gonna walk over to our little lizard friend and take out a little bit of dried meat and offer it to
It's
him.
called Artificial Intelligence.
Sniffs it, easily takes it from you, and just kind of chews on it.
Oh, hey, what's Orn doing?
Daedalus.
That's another interesting one. We'll probably have to come back and ask you about that one too. I haven't seen that one, but the first.
And immediately Brahm's already walking towards the cave, and he's slowly starting to dig away some of the rock.
Oh, man.
The Chiffon is kind of just like rubbing his temple. I guess we do have to deal with this whether I like it or not. Part of the code. Just sit tight for now. You all could use a rest.
Yes.
We'll be back. I might be able to lend some help with that.
Yeah, Trovik would like to make X like his sword.
I
If
don't
that
think I
is-
can do that, but I'm certain if you find some other settlement, they'll be able to make you any sort of silvered weapon you prefer. Maybe even a silvered axe.
Okay.
Trovik, will you help me with the bodies?
Yes, of course. What
Yeah,
do
alright.
you...
I'm gonna just like take there's still like wolf and jackal carcasses abound, so I want to gather them all up and sort of like pile them on top of the creature, and we're gonna do a pyre.
During that whole process, Azazel, I want to do 2 things. One, when our new friends are out of earshot, I want to walk up to Lark and just kind of whisper, like, is there like a secret exit that Elson might find his way out of, or?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I was only allowed to go into certain places.
Well, let's hope he found his way out, because I couldn't stand up to those 2 even if I wanted to.
Well, I mean, yeah. They didn't make any promises.
You guys
It's the principle of the matter.
I know, I know. I don't feel good about it either, but
At least Azazel, with your previous history check, you know that it's kind of their job to deal with creatures like that, whether it's right or wrong.
Right.
And knowing what jackal wares are and how tenacious and essentially evil they can be seems kind of a just thing for them to do.
Mm-hmm.
But as you guys are discussing and piling up the bodies and whatnot for a pyre, you kind of faintly hear some chatter, some loud chatter inside the cave. It sounds like Elson's yelling. Then you hear some laughter from Brahm. Then a few screams. And then silence. And after about maybe 7-8 minutes, eventually Brahm and Chiffon come back out.
Well, that's been dealt with. You guys left a mess in there too. There's a lot of them in there. I mean, the other 2 were kind of doing what you were doing and stacking them up, but now you got 2 more to add to the pile. And our job is done with them.
Chiffon looks like so detested. We're so dejected. But he does go over to the creature just before you begin this pyre of all these creatures and animals. He pulls out a smaller knife and he does cut a piece of the wing off the Vulpentile. I will need to take a piece of this back. Maybe we can have some of the others look at it, figure something out. Is there anything that you got from your spell, Azazel? Kind of puts the piece of the wing into like a pouch.
Yeah, I guess there's not too much harm in having you know this. He sort of starts flipping through his notes to show like the kind of very rudimentary scribbles he has about like the complex overlay of necromancy spells and all of his hypotheses about the animal DNA and such. And he says, from what we've gathered from a few of these creatures, it seems as if a very powerful mage is able to use repeated uses of the clone spell in order to sort of mishmash a bunch of creatures into one new creature that then they employ for whatever purposes. We saw one in the wild that looked a lot like this little lizard, just much, much larger, and another one obviously was this one that they brought to negotiate with the Jackalwares and then attack us. So whoever is behind all this is quite powerful, and I'm telling you because, Chiffon, I at least trust you to do the best thing with this knowledge.
Definitely help with explaining to my superiors what exactly has been happening within the region. If some powerful wizard is behind all this.
Ha! Wizards. They always seem to be at the root of all these dastardly things.
Not always, but it's kind of a stereotype at this point.
So
No
far,
offense.
I know two things: that Brahm is a dwarf and he is a profiler.
Yes, he's a handful.
Brom Van Helsing.
But I appreciate the information. It might help us find this individual. You did mention also a Goliath. That's, well, you might have more information speaking with your, well, I wish not to presume, but you might have better information with your Goliath companion. They tend to know, at least from what I recall, they tend to know of each other's tribes. That's as much as I can say without being assuming.
You're much more considerate, and I appreciate that.
You're most welcome. But, well, and he kind of looks at all of you. How's everybody doing for hit points?
I'm about half.
A little over half.
I am
pretty good.
fine right now, actually, but really,
I'm super
what we need is a long rest.
Yeah.
Oh, he kind of looks. I think Orn had like maybe, 11 or so.
Yeah, I gave him back 11. I gave them back 11. Pardon me.
Here, this might help a bit. And he goes over and he touches Orn and he casts Cure Wounds on Orn. So we'll see about. Hello, please roll. Thank you. So Orn gets about 9 hit points back. And the energy kind of like goes through Orn, and Orn at this point seems to be used to it.
Yeah, that's good.
Right.
Sounds very.
I will assume that's a thank you. But, well, appreciate the information, and we must be taking off. We have to keep moving and keep scouting and keeping watch.
Oh, but if you guys want, you can go hang out in the cave if you're looking for a chance to sleep. I mean, it is getting dark.
At this point, you guys have realized it is late in the day. Night is slowly creeping up.
Which cave did he point to? Not the one that we just
The
came
one
out
where
of.
the Jackalwares were.
Yep.
Really?
Well, I
We
can tell
should
you where
probably-
everything is, for the most part.
It's, well, there were only the two of them. They were really just piling up the dead and bickering amongst themselves, and now they're dead too. there's nothing else. Well, there is nothing else in there that we found alive. So, if you don't mind sleeping near dead bodies, I'm sure you'll be fine.
Oh,
I think you guys could use it.
My brain. We fast forwarded. Okay.
But Chuff and I need to keep going.
One of these days, I swear to God, Brom.
Thank you for your help.
Yeah, that was
Most
greatly
welcome.
appreciated. That was.
We thought you guys were in need of help, so we helped. That's what we do. Now then, let's go, Chuffon.
He says it with a bit of disdain.
Let's go see if we can, I don't know, find something else that's need to be dealt with. Hopefully not, but maybe so.
God, you seem to live for this. It's the perfect job for you. Yes, thank you all again. Do stay safe, and I bid you all farewell.
The two of them kind of like put everything away. Put everything.
Yeah. In a
Actually,
well?
that's
Damn
accurate.
it!
Put everything away. Yes, we have just met Legolas and Gimli. It's a good reference point. And they begin to wander off a little bit more westward.
Wow, good call.
But it's getting dark. So, at this point, you are not in any threat of immediate danger.
Well,
Would you all like to do?
Come inside and I'll make us some dinner.
Anything to get
Oh.
the smell of dead bodies out of the cave.
Well, you could bring them out of the cave if you wanted to while I cook.
That feels so disrespectful. They were just slaughtered in their home.
Yes, it
We
is.
did most of it.
It is disrespectful.
Do we leave them in
We
there?
have
then?
a.
Aren't you gonna make a pyre?
Yeah, it's basically done.
As a note
It's
from
done.
when you were moving all the jackals and the direwolves and the creatures and the individuals, you do find on the jackals as well a combined total of about 240 copper, 210 silver. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm reading something the wrong one. Whatever. It's fine. 240 copper, 210 silver, and 60 platinum.
Wow.
And about
What?
8 rations.
I will take the rations.
Can she find some of their other food that they had here to sort of make a stew of some kind?
Of course, there are a lot of food supplies that you are quite privy to.
She would have been very familiar with them.
Yeah. In terms of the cave itself, there are a lot of trade goods that are kept in that room that you were being held in. But
Okay, so she will make us a decent supper from what she can gather.
I
She's pretty good at this.
give some of rations. Trovik, excellent cook.
We do
I
have
will-
a not dead body to deal with.
Oh yes. And I go to Orn.
Oh,
You did
yes, the
good
one
job
we-
out there.
No,
like
the prisoner.
in like a
The prisoner,
tired,
yes.
in like a tired screech, squeal, whatever Horn's regular sound effects are. Of course.
Well, I will leave the questioning of the prisoner to you guys, because
Okay.
Yeah,
I
let's
guess
tie him up.
It is time for Trovik to put detective hat on.
Yeah.
So, also, I'm assuming you're also burning the other 3 corpses of the 3 out of the 4 brigands, correct?
Yeah, all the bodies.
Okay.
After searching the brigands thoroughly.
So that you found just on the jackalwares that were outside originally. What you find on the brigands, as you guys keep calling them,
Brigand.
combined total, including the one that was unconscious, 70 platinum,
Jesus Christ.
210 gold. Their armors and equipment is mostly destroyed. You could take their weapons. They all had heavy crossbows and maces, and a couple of hand axes, if you so choose. One of them does have a note. So whomever, I guess in this case it was Zoral and Trovic, the two of you, while cleaning off the bodies and putting them to the pyre, you find a note.
My dearest Sakurai.
It says,
"It's winter now.
Rendezvous a day and a half travel east of the plated roadway intersection. Wait amongst the lilac grove. I will greet you there."
Clip it.
Yeah, I got stuck trying to spell rendezvous.
If you want me to spell rendezvous, it's RENDEZVOUS.
Oh, he says Zed.
Zed.
Canadian. Sometimes I forget.
Rendezvous,
Yes.
day and a half travel east of Armor Plate Road.
Rendezvous a day and a half travel east of the plated roadway intersection.
East of.
Wait amongst the lilac grove. I will greet you there.
Sounds so romantic.
Yeah, this is a love note.
Got lilacs.
I will wait for you forever.
The eyes are dotted with hearts.
A hand for our note taker / accountant.
taking notes is his character.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I should start typing my notes. I'm a much faster typer.
You?
Yeah. I do hand that note to Azazel, and as I do, it's just we want to deal with the one who is not dead, and we have this information in case he does not feel like talking.
Good call.
Yes.
We pulled the note off of one of the dead ones, right? Okay.
Pulled it off the half orc.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. So we can hide this information from him.
Okay.
All right. But you all, after cremating the bodies of all these slain individuals and creatures, you make your way inside. Lark, you show the others the staircase that leads up to the higher level of this cliffside inside the cave and into the back room. And the back room itself it's almost as if like a barracks, let's say, comparably. There are tables, there are chairs, there's a series of barrels, boxes. There are a few torches placed around in different spots just to give a little bit of illumination to the light, to the den itself.
I would like to take a little flower before it gets pitch black outside and tell her we are going on a small adventure to gather wood for fire inside of cave.
Want me to come with you?
Yes, this is our little adventure.
I think gathering wood is safe enough.
Right. And maybe you can kill little small beast for dinner to help L.O.R.E, our new cleric.
She pulls out her dagger. Worth a try.
So
the two of you go out.
Yeah.
It is fairly dark out now. It's, I would say, dusk at least, but the light is waning.
Cool.
Lure the little lizard guy back inside with some food and sort of like
Cookie trail.
Let him be in the room when she's cooking.
All right. So you kind of do lead it up. At this point, the creature itself is still somewhat, at least from the puzzled looks that you can all of you can kind of gauge from it. It doesn't quite understand, but at least it understands that you've been feeding it and you're not hurting it. So it's, at least at this point, it seems to be following.
If it lets her, she'll like scritch its head.
It retracts at first, but attempts to let you, and you scritch it, and it's just kind of like.
She's patient. She's not going to force it if it doesn't want her, but she'll hold her hand out and just sort of like.
It takes a moment.
Yeah.
Azazel just kind of like plops down next-ish to it, as close as he can be without the beast looking a little put off or frightened, and just starts like flipping through his notebook and like mindlessly munching on some dried meat that he'll probably just occasionally like offer the last bit to our little lizard.
Yeah, and while we're out foraging with Little Flower, I'm like Trovik is helping gather wood, and also any edible vegetable things like mushrooms and whatnot, moss and stuff.
Make a perception check for me.
Okay.
Do you have dark vision at all?
No.
No, I would say.
That's a good point.
I would say make it a disadvantage because it is getting quite dark out while you're trying to forage.
10.
10? Okay, not bad. Finding bark and wood is easy enough. The trees are there, though you'll have to cut some sections down. Looking for food and whatnot, you have a hard time kind of moseying through the grass, and even Doxy is a little bit unsure of where to look. You think you come across maybe a bush that has something on it.
Yeah,
you can't really tell.
Okay. Hey, and throw it in sects. But on our way back, Trovik will say to Little Flower, Little Flower, listen, this is hard for Trovik to say, but this adventure is getting very dangerous for you to continue on. Trovik never knew father or mother, but Trovik feel like almost like father to Little Flower. Feel heavy responsibility in chest, and the last thing Trovik want is to be responsible for Little Flower getting hurt.
I understand. I wanted to be part of the adventure. I wanted to be part of the fighting like you and the others, but after seeing that and seeing everyone struggle and almost die.
Yes.
I'm not so sure.
Do you know where family is?
Well, I believe my family's still back in the Feywild. I just don't know how to get there.
Why don't you and Trovik go on adventure on our own after this and find a way to get you home?
What happens after I go home? What will you do?
Well, Trovik not know, but maybe you can show Trovik this other god that you speak of for Trovik to be not so bad.
Well, I know a little bit about... I forget who it was. I think it was Talus. I'll have to come back to that, but...
Yeah, sure.
I know a little bit about that god of justice, of war and equal fighting.
Yes.
But maybe you can learn it from someone who knows a little bit more about him. Maybe you can learn it from my dad if you come with me.
Okay. You have dead. You do have family, yes?
Yes, I do.
Good. Then maybe Trovik be more like Big Brother?
You can be whatever you want to be. You want to be a father figure, you want to be a big brother. Still my friend.
You that makes Trovik very happy. But when it comes to father figure temporarily, he speak words I know. You listen to Trovik like dead.
Listen to some things, yes.
So when it comes to the rest of this adventure and danger is around,
I will take your word for it.
Stay out of...
For now, until I'm ready.
Until you are ready. And you can continue with training with Little Redman. He seems to want to make you do dancing with sword stuff, so that looks fun.
I mean, who doesn't love dancing? And putting it with sword fighting? Why not?
Trovik was known to shake a leg or two back in day.
Oh, this I have to see.
I will show you someday. Anyway, that is for special occasion.
Oh, well, she kind of starts laughing. If you come with me to my home, we party a lot. There's going to be a lot of dancing and drinking and whatnot.
Oh.
Mostly the grown-ups deal with that, but they'll be able to dance a lot.
Okay, then. And well, Mosey, let's you get to make fire by yourself this time.
Right. I think I remember, and she pulls up. She kind of pats her tabard down. She pulls out a rock.
Mm-hmm. That's half of it, yes.
Let's go make a fire.
Okay, let's do it. And go back.
You make your way back through the cave and find that even there's still a little bit of light from the lit torches. But what are the rest of you doing? L.O.R.E is making a pleasant meal.
Yeah. Making a stew. So there's fire in the hearth.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's not really giving much light other than in the kitchen area.
Mm-hmm.
But it's starting to smell really good.
Orn, somewhat ecstatic, kind of looks over. Fish!
There's some meat in here too, I think. And potatoes. And carrots. And turnips, I think.
L.O.R.E is Irish.
Corn, I think.
Corn?
Corn. And some seasonings, and there's a bit of barley too, because that fills things out.
Barley.
Barley's a grain. It's kind of like a little. It's almost like a little puffball that sort of gets bigger when it's in liquid. You'll have to taste it. Let me know what you think.
Yeah. You all situate yourselves in this barracks makeshift den. You have a pleasant, lovely meal. Everyone seems satiated by the food itself, and you all begin to relax.
Yeah, picking out the meat chunks and giving it to Doxia.
She just picks it and just sticks it in her mouth.
Sorry, I didn't realize. Actually, if there's... Yeah, she could probably make two, like a smaller...
No,
seriously,
okay.
she can make a smaller little pot that has none of the meat, but all of the vegetables.
Then I would just drink the whole pot.
Yeah. So
and the small foraging of bush that you brought back looks like the ends of some sort of plant, not necessarily a berry or a fruit, though they're not poisonous, but they look like berries
but it's just a long reed, let's say.
Mm-hmm. I will nosh on those as well as my dessert.
It's
Lark,
not very
Lark will pass
tasty.
along cookies. She has some. Well, she's probably a lot of her pastries are still here.
Oh.
Because that's where she was making them.
I mean, you could, looking around through some of the barrels, the boxes, and the sacks, you find a lot of an assortment of items that you could take with you and look over. There's a handful of.
Bread?
You could make some bread. There are the ingredients there.
Okay.
Most of the, granted, the Jackawares mostly, if not always, ate some sort or assortment of meat.
Okay, yeah. But bread would be important too, I would think.
Sometimes, yes. So if you wanted to make some, you definitely could.
Yeah.
There's definitely the ingredients there.
It just seems like that and the cookies will be very portable. But yeah, she's gonna make something that's like more cinnamony. So like snickerdoodles.
All right. Well, while Lark, after dinner, decides to continue baking and make some fresh bread, some cookies, and other assorted goodies, what do the rest of you like to do before you bed down for the night?
This, I should note, is how she prays.
300 degrees. Da, 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 da.
She does. She sings a little as she makes.
That's awesome.
Zazel,
Yes.
the road ahead seems to be more difficult than what we've encountered so far.
An accurate assessment.
If there are powerful magics at work, both of an arcane and natural kinds, then we may too come up against some. It is something that has been on my mind, a sort of dark reflection of what each of us could be.
The thought had occurred to me, and it's not a very pleasant one.
And you are you are a practitioner of arcane magic, and wizards seem to create havoc, chaos, and do things at a whim. I mean, creating creatures like this is dangerous. You don't have any aspirations of that.
No, of course not.
They know.
Truthfully.
So he doesn't kill you right now.
Truthfully, I don't know what I want to do with my magic. I learned it as kind of a means to an end. I wanted to solve mysteries and solve crime like in the books I read, and magic seemed like a convenient way to do that. It was almost like a tertiary thing that I learned growing up. First was sword fighting, and then second was etiquette and dance, and then I started picking up arcane tricks here and there. So I am still very early on in my own magical journey, but seeing this sort of magic, it doesn't sit right. Toying with lives of innocent creatures and creating something outside of the natural order and then leaving it on its own, I can't even imagine doing something like that. So, no, I have no aspirations like that. But truthfully, I don't really know what I'm doing with my magic anyway.
Well, it is comforting to me personally to know that you don't have aspirations of creating something like this or something like the owl bear, even though owl bears are very adorable.
Are owlbears not natural?
No,
Oh.
it's an owl and a bear. How is that natural? Anyway.
I just thought it was something that like people said because they looked like two things put together, like come back to me.
Sure. We're getting off topic anyway. I was also curious about your path after we get to the bottom of this, if it is within our power to do so. You say that the path before you may be uncertain, but perhaps you want to know, have an aspiration of what to do with your magic. Do you continue with your profession as an investigator, or continue with your sword play, or find something more constructive to do with your magic?
That's a tough one, big guy.
It can be a means to an end, as you say. It grows with you, and you grow with it.
If there's one thing that I know for certain about the different sorts of magic, and maybe this is why wizards tend to get an ego when they get powerful enough, is we don't really draw our magic abilities from something else. Sure, there's spells and incantations and there's structure behind it, it's mathematic, but when we build on it, it's something we have to do ourselves. You know, we don't gain more abilities by growing in faith, we don't gain more abilities by engrossing ourselves further in nature or by selling our soul to some creature. It is a very personal thing, which makes the fact that someone is using this sort of magic even more unsettling, because that is a very personal thing to do to something. And yes, whether or not I have a strong enough will or a strong enough mind to push myself to the point where I could find answers to the multiverse, or find a way to undo whatever's been done, or find magics that haven't even been thought of yet. I mean, that's yet to be seen, but I'd like to do something to help as many people as I can. That's about all I'm good for.
If all that you're good for is helping others, that is a fine thing indeed. But I feel that your magic will serve you well in those endeavors. It can be helpful to many if you in the right hands. I believe, as I have seen what you can do, your hands are pretty good.
What about you? What are you wanting to do when this is all done? Continue on whatever sort of crusade you were on prior to getting into the issue?
It's not so serious as a crusade. It's a quest, a journey, travel the lands and embody to the best as I can different aspects of the natural world. And come back to my tribe with all that I have learned to improve it and strengthen it as a whole. I am not the only one who takes this journey, and my I will earn a new name through it. I have learned much in my journeys already. I have learned about the animals of the shapes that I take, of the winds and skies that I call to my aid, and the trees and the plants and the flowers and the very ground that we walk on. I'm still learning every day. I have much to go. So hopefully, one day, when I return, I will return as a wild heart. That is what we call one who has embraced all the elements, all the aspects of nature. It is simplified, but in our language, it is a heart of the wild. It's simplistic, I know, but it works for us.
Simple doesn't always mean bad.
And perhaps from there, I am excited about this part. I only hear tell of few who can do it, but I may become one with the elements. The earth, I am particularly excited for. One day, not soon.
That's definitely a goal worth chasing after. And if your tribe makes people half as dedicated and curious as you are, then I'd say the Earth has some mighty fine protectors.
Yes, it is only unfortunate that there are those not of my tribe, not of our way, who use their powers for unsavory means. I am as deeply troubled as you are by an arcane caster as a fellow natural spellweaver. But we will have time to ponder this. As we ponder this, what we can get from our guest and what we will find from that note that I gave you. I'm very weary. It has been a long day. And I think we can all benefit from some rest.
Yeah, no kidding. We'll interrogate in the morning then, when I have a bit more magic at my disposal. We're gonna stop these people together. Tree speaker.
On Couture.
You?
This little conversation between the two of you. Heartwarming.
Lark's going around handing out bowls.
Thank you.
And bread with melting butter, because the bread's still warm.
Oh, Jesus. Now you're making me hungry.
So while the two of you are having this conversation, Orin is kind of playing with this little creature that you've adopted? Question mark. Kind of like keeping company. There are some similar traits, reptilian in nature, but it's kind of like keeping it preoccupied. Doxia and Trovik, I think you said you were going to scour about after making the fire.
You play it, yeah, like a little scavenger game.
You find a lot of random objects. Some you're not quite sure what they are, but you think they might be useful. Going through, everything is barreled up, boxed up, or within sacks, but you find things such as like robes and shoes, different types of rations like fruit, dried meat, a couple barrels of water, some oil flasks, some lanterns, a couple of liquid vials, a piece of rolled up paper, a little bag, and what looks to be like a small little decanter. Everything else is kind of like there are a few weapons like scimitars, that's pretty much it. Everything is kind of like packed neatly together. Well, I wouldn't say neatly, but packed in, sorted accordingly.
I'm just laughing at something I just read. That is awesome. Okay. Okay. So, little flower. This is the part of the game where we take all our findings back.
Okay.
To the party.
Okay.
And
what party?
The friends.
Oh, okay.
Our temporary family, and then we haggle them for prices to see what they want to sell, what they want to buy.
Okay, let's try it.
Okay.
Who do you want to go to first?
Probably the little red man.
Okay, let's ask Azazel.
Yeah, he's smart. He probably knows what most of these things are.
So while you're all eating around the table, Azazel. And she kind of like plops down all this stuff on the table with Trovik.
Yeah.
We found these things.
Step into my office, little man.
How much do you want to give to us for it?
Yes.
For
Make me an offer I can't refuse.
For these weapons that I don't want.
So she throws like it's a mixture of things. You see a couple of vials, some clothes, a sword here or there, some shoes, some fruit.
These clothes, little do you know, wizard man, can make you invincible against regular weapon attacks.
I don't believe you. So, okay. When did we start selling things to each other? This doesn't seem like...
Well, I'm just...
We share gold.
She grabs...
I always pick up the drinks. What is this?
She grabs what looks to be like a rolled up piece of paper, and you know immediately this is a spell scroll of some kind. This note, it could be something, there could be all kinds of it could be a treasure map. How much do you want for it?
For a treasure map, I will give you...
Yes, come on.
2 gold pieces.
Deal.
Hey!
Easiest deal of my life. Easiest deal. I immediately see what this spell is for.
When good stuff goes around to people that can use it on behalf of the rest of the people that are traveling with them, then we all do better.
You saying this to Doxia or just in general?
Is this about the cookies?
Pardon?
Is this about the cookies?
Are you going to start charging us for cookies now?
I give cookies to you so that you feel better and you can fight better, right?
No, I am in...
On behalf of all of us.
I am in total head shake like this with you. Yes.
So Azazel, you give Doxia 2 gold, and she's like, Trovik, I did it! And you take the spell scroll, you unscroll.
That is most excellent.
Unravel
Put
it
it in your pocket, keep it safe. That is a lot of money, I think. I don't know how many it is.
I only have 1 pocket, and I keep my dagger and the rock in there.
It is shiny, it is gold, I believe, and
Azazel, can you hold my money for me?
Sure.
What the fine.
I have plenty of pockets. Here we go. I'll hold
look, you
your
make
money in this pocket here.
Red man, you make separate pocket for.
It's a separate pocket.
Okay, separate pocket.
Separate pocket.
All right.
Okay, I'm not.
I just want to know my scroll.
The scroll. Okay, it's you reading it. It's a scroll of magic circle.
Ooh.
I don't know what that is.
I'm gonna copy that into my book tonight. Thank goodness we found all that platinum.
What is platinum?
More than gold.
It's better than Diamond and Pearl because they fixed a lot of the issues.
It comes full circle.
And full
Damn.
circle. All right, everyone, that's it. We're closing for the night. But I'd say, specifically you, Azazel, looking across this table of objects and whatnot, you immediately recognize one of them's a healing potion. You're not quite sure which level of healing potion, but you know immediately it's a healing potion. There's a few other vials that kind of strike your interest. And going through the objects themselves, there's like this little pouch that kind of throws you off because it's just filled with sand.
I have a pouch full of sand.
Are you sure it's sand?
Perhaps.
I'm gonna throw up a detect magic. It'll take me another 10 minutes.
All right.
Okay.
The 10 min-
Well, Redman
wait.
is doing thing. Healer lady, who excellent cook, by the way.
My name is L.O.R.E, and thank you.
L.O.R.E.
L.O.R.E,
Okay,
you
that
want
is
these
easy
shoes?
for Trovik to remember. L.O.R.E. Zorro. Zorro? It's almost like your names are... Never mind. Come see what Little Flower has to offer you. We are playing game.
Oh. And she kind of like...
Yes, get them.
She kind of runs away from out of the barracks area for a second.
I'll whisper to her real quick. I will say, give the nice lady discount, like free. I don't know how much that is, but I'm pretty sure that is 0 monies. And then charge Zorro double.
And she literally runs out of the room for a moment. She disappears for like a good minute or two and comes back with this little bag. I saw what you guys did and I decided to go take a look. And she gives to you, L.O.R.E, this bag, and it's just a bag of money.
Okay.
Thanks for the heals.
Here. I saw the others check the bodies of the jackals, whatever, and the other one's outside. Here. I remember checking them and I forgot to pick it up. I didn't have any pockets, so.
Oh.
Thanks for the food. And she kind of like, I think I'm paying. I got this, Trevor. I'm paying for our food.
Well,
He's
okay,
most
but
excellent.
L.O.R.E is gonna take the pouch. Thank you very much. I'll put this into the party pile because we have
A party
lots
pile.
of money that is for everyone, right?
Yes, we're just playing game.
Okay, so we share it?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. That's actually not a bad idea.
Good. See, we're family now.
I kind
I
of
share with
quiver,
family.
shiver a little bit. Don't like sharing Little Flower with. We are little family.
No.
We
I'm
can
not
be
saying...
like Dice family.
She goes over to you, Zorro. Do you want this fruit? And she gives you like a couple of fruit. It looks like an apple and maybe a pear. She pulled out of the pile. Well, if we're supposed to share, then here. She gives them to you, Zorro.
Thank you. This is a very fine gift. Did you have a good adventure today?
It was a scary adventure, but it was a good adventure.
Most adventures are scary, but you are very brave, I can tell. How is your dagger work coming?
She pulls it out. So far, so good. And she kind of like does a couple of thrusts and what looks like almost like a half-assed parry. I think I need to learn a little bit more, but I'm getting there.
Coming along quite well. Azazel is a good teacher. Now, thank you for your gift. Would you like a gift?
Okay.
I just do some druid craft to make a small little like flower.
Oh.
And a little flower for a little flower.
And like tries to tuck it in behind her ear a little bit where her fur is. It doesn't quite stay. She looks around. She kind of goes. She puts back on the table, goes rushing over to like the sack, kind of dives in it, and pulls out what looks to be like a hat of some kind. She sticks it in the hat, puts the hat on.
She's got the hat now.
Yeah. It's a daffodil. It looks like a lion.
Oh.
I love it. It goes perfect.
A tear drops from Jolie. Is there dusty in here or something?
Wait, we don't want to
Must be
forget the owl. There's an owl too, right?
Pepper, that's Azazel's owl.
Pepper. Oh.
You look over and Orin is chomping on.
Pepper is sitting on top of Azazel's head as he ritual casts.
Okay.
Orin finally caught the owl.
You just
Orin is too
away.
distracted by the Orin is too distracted by the other reptilian creature and is slowly starting to look like they are crashing or falling asleep for the afternoon. By the way, what did you guys decide to do with the your hostage?
Oh yeah, we're tying him up and taking care of him in the morning.
Fair enough. I mean, he's still, after the beating he took, I would say he's still quite out cold.
Yeah, we could chain him to wherever they were chaining the Moorbounder.
Sure. They're in the lower level of the cavern, at least towards the entrance. There are a series of chains that are mounted to the wall, so you could easily fix this individual to them so that they cannot leave freely.
Two thumbs up.
We ourselves pass out.
Yeah, I'm sleepy.
Oh, and your detect magic goes off, and
Oh yeah.
the little bag of sand glows along with all the vials.
Wait, is it? It's not diamond dust, is it?
I forget. Detect magic doesn't.
I would just
It doesn't tell you what it
essentially
is. It just tells
Yeah.
you that they're magical.
if it's magical and if it has a particular school.
Okay.
I don't
The
have
only
a
reason I ask is because that's a component of a healing spell, isn't it?
I can't remember actually off the top of my head.
I thought that was like a not revivify, but maybe just like a
Greater Restoration uses diamond dust.
Okay.
Yeah. Revivify is just a diamond.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a greater
They're
restoration.
both
It's a long
important.
way off.
So we'll say this: the obviously you can tell once a healing potion it has. I guess it would give off evocation.
Yeah.
An evocation spell. The two more larger ones give off a bit of transmutation.
Ooh.
The little bag of sand. I'm gonna go with illusion. School of illusion. And there's another vial that's in like more of like a rectangular vial itself. That one would be charming. Or enchantment, sorry.
Good to know.
And as you add these items to your bag, you also look in your bag and you see that you still have that jug and that tankard from way back when. That you
Oh my god, I forgot about those.
But you can definitely take some time to identify everything. Maybe in the morning.
Maybe in the morning. I've got some things I got to do. I need to copy. Well, I don't have the materials. I need to go buy the materials to copy Magic Circle. So I'll keep the scroll closely tight so no one can use it. And I don't know. I don't know if we need watches. Azazel's gonna take the first watch. He's gonna do some scribbling, some writing.
While you take the first watch and everyone decides to bed down, there are a series of different sleeping bags and bedrolls that are easily at your disposal here in this small barracks of a den. You make yourselves comfortable. And I will say throughout
Staying in the kitchen area. That's
Yeah,
where she's most
it's-
comfortable.
keep
Sometime
watch.
during the watch,
Mhm.
Azazel's gonna get done writing what he was writing.
Mhm.
He's gonna tear out the sheet of paper and kind of fold it up and like tie it with a piece of string or something. He doesn't really have an envelope, and he's gonna give it to Pepper. I'm gonna hold in his little owl beak, and then I'll say, take this to shoot. What's her name? What was the leader of the town's name?
The half-orc?
Which town?
The centaur lady.
Oh, Merlet.
Merlet, that's it. Take this to Merlet. I don't know if she'll be there, but if Zilri comes back into town, tell Merlet to give that to her. Otherwise, just leave it with her and see what happens. And then come back when you can. It's a long flight. As soon as you get back, I'll send you home and you can recharge your batteries for as long as you need. But,
Right. I'll go as quickly as I can.
Thank you, Sergeant. Have a safe flight.
Will do. And he kind of like takes the little.
I
he
should have
takes
made
the
him
little
go
note,
Falcon first, but I wanted to go for stealth.
and he flies out of the cave, heading westward towards Bolmar. He doesn't return throughout the night. Like, he doesn't return right away. But throughout the night, you keep watch. And then between all of you, if you so choose to, take turns. The night goes unabated. You all take your long rest. And the morning eventually comes. And that's where we'll end it here for now.
Yeah.
As you all think over where you want to go next and what to do next. But other than that, that's it for tonight. Until next time. I think we have what? One more before the end of the year?
Crazy.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be the new year. Oh.
Oh no.
So, yeah, thank you everyone for coming out. Unfortunately, we didn't roll any natural ones tonight. It's a rarity, but we rolled a lot of natural 20s, so I guess we're making up for all the ones.
We didn't roll any ones?
No, I don't recall we're rolling any ones.
Nope. Bruh.
I mean, you can still play the sound effect as you so choose, but
I just had to once.
Hold on.
It's just so funny that
wasn't a natural one.
I do it for Jody's reaction every time. I have to use it sparingly, though.
It just makes me laugh every time I hear it.
It's worth it.
Bruh.
Bruh.
Alright. Well, hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for coming. Until next time, be good to each other, be awesome, and beat hate with love. Have a good night.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
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 Good evening.